Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a place where the right message finds you. And now let me show you guys the wheel through which this message is going to find you. So, our wheel of wisdom. Hmm, here it is. So, my dear ones, this is our wheel of wisdom, and I invite you. Okay, first let me tell you about this wheel in case you are new. So, this wheel contains the name of 50 plus books, the best books that I have found over a period of 10 years, the last 10 years of my life. And before we spin the wheel and the universe picks a book for us, I invite you guys to take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need guidance on today? Okay. So, whatever it is that appeared for you, holding that in your heart as we spin the wheel. It is so interesting, huh? So, I talked about compassion to carry, and the book that came up is The Mindful Path to Self Compassion. Freeing Yourself from Destructive Thoughts and Emotions by Christopher Germer. So let me open this book and let's see what is the guidance that wants to come through from this beautiful, beautiful book. Okay. Hi, Janendra. Welcome. Welcome to the space. So, my dear ones, let me show you guys our book. This is our book, The Mindful Path to Self Compassion. And now I'm choosing some numbers so that we can play a game together. So, just a moment. Mhm. So, in a moment from now, I am going to ask you guys to pick a number. And when I ask you, just see whatever number pops up first in your mind, share it in the comments. I will go through all your comments and pick a number that my intuition feels most called to. Okay? So I invite you to pick a number between 25 to 271. Janen says, good evening. Good evening, Janendra. Okay, I missed that message before. Carrie says, serendipity. Ah, yeah, isn't it, Carrie? A lot of compassion coming your way. Oh, and we have the first number from Carrie too. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Doug. Welcome back, Doug. Okay. Anyone else who feels called to share a number and receive a reading, the message from the universe? Okay, then. So let's see. We have a number. Thank you, Keisha. So let's see which number am I feeling most called to. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 78. You just mentioned on time. Thank you, Keisha. Okay, let's see what wants to come through page number 78 for Keisha and everyone else too, because you won't be here if the message wasn't meant for you too. So, just a moment, opening this page. Okay, so the heading here is How We Create Suffering. So let's learn the recipe of creating suffering. Huh. So let's see. Mm, yeah. So there is usually a sequence of internal events when we find ourselves very upset. A thoughtful patient of mine said, this is how his mind works when he gets depressed. I don't like this feeling. I wish I didn't have this feeling. I shouldn't have this feeling. I am wrong to have this feeling. I am bad. Emotions just seem to get stronger the more we fight them, often culminating in self condemnation, which is I am bad. The earlier we interrupt the chain of negative associations, the better. If we catch our emotions upstream, where aversion first springs out of an unpleasant sensation, we can stay calm and centered. After we have swept downstream, means we have gone down the spiral, where strong emotions are swirling around, we still have a chance to disentangle from our suffering. But it's not so easy then. So, so the process happens like this. We we are in a situation, there is, a trigger, like anything outside or internal. We just have a thought out of nowhere or something happened, okay, that made us feel an unpleasant feeling. The moment that feeling appeared, we are like, okay, I don't want this feeling, whether it is in the form of thought or it's like an internal push. Okay, like I don't want this feeling, I don't want to feel this way, then I shouldn't feel this way. So we resist it, we have this aversion towards that feeling, right? And that is what leads to suffering. The initial sensation of which was a little discomfortable, a little uncomfortable, was not, you know, um, the one that was causing suffering. It was like this initial pain, or what we call the first arrow in Buddhism. um and then we resist it. We are like, okay, this shouldn't be happening again. Now I'm again feeling sad, or I'm again feeling anxious, or I shouldn't feel so anxious. I shouldn't feel this way. I shouldn't feel so angry. I shouldn't have these angry thoughts. It is not good. I'm a spiritual person. I shouldn't have these kind of thoughts. So we add all of this resistance to what is happening inside of us. We're like, this shouldn't be happening. I don't want this. This shouldn't be happening. And if this is happening, this means something about me. So we end up associating our identity with it sometimes. And that makes us feel more shameful, or that makes us, that makes the emotion even more intense because we have added kind of fuel to fire. And when we associate our identity, it becomes even harder to do anything about that emotion, because now there is a part of us that like it has become a part of us, and we are fighting ourselves, and that is so complicated, right? So and that's what the author um mean when they say, yeah, when he says that you have flown downstream, like you have gotten entangled in that emotion a lot. Okay, so what can we do then? What can we do is the moment that emotion, that unpleasant feeling appeared for the first time, we started to feel a little uncomfortable, you know, we have caught ourselves upstream, okay, when it has just emerged. Now, at that moment when the unpleasant feelings first emerge, there is this research finding by, okay, I don't remember the name of that person. It starts with J, sorry. But basically, the finding was that that emotion basically has a cycle of 90 seconds. It was meant to be there for 90 seconds in our body. That initial uncomfortable feeling was meant to be there for the initial 90 seconds. That's it, 1.5 minute. That was the cycle, the life cycle of that physiological reaction that happened within you. But what we did was we added stuff to it. We engaged with it more and more and more. We resisted it. We argued with it. We pour more and more thoughts into it, just like in the initial practice in our guided meditation, I asked you that why do you believe that thought. So there were certain reasons why you were believing that. So the time, so when the thought appears, we don't just catch it and then we work with it. We usually, even if we have done a lot of inner work, we usually find ourselves somewhere in the middle of that stream. So again, your goal should, your goal, you don't get into perfectionism. So I need to like catch myself the first time that thought appears or the first time that sensation appears, because it is only going to lead to, more criticism or self judgment. Most people usually catch it midstream, and even if you catch yourself when you are downstream, when you are down the spiral of those emotions, that's also okay. You can work with it. It might be a lot harder, but you can still work with it. It's okay wherever you are in the stream. But once you catch it, instead of adding more fuel to the fire, because that's what is keeping the emotions going on, what you think affects the way you feel, affects the way you behave. That is kind of what one of the philosophies or the uh, teachings of CBT, okay, the approach that we practice initially. So when you think, um, when you add to that story that your mind is telling you, then you are creating more and more. You are like you are again and again, recreating that emotion, and that cycle is getting longer and longer and longer. That's why a 90-second emotion can last, I don't know, 3 4 days or a week or a month even. That's how it gets extended. And when you have gone down the stream, it's like very very harder to get out of it. So what to do instead? So the moment you notice that emotion, wherever it is, and however intense it is, you can use any number of tools. There are so many tools out there. I have added so many tools, like in that playlist that I mentioned. You can do what we did in the starting, the guided meditation that we practice. You can sit with that emotion, you can process it. You can, if it is too much, you can use a regulation tool. You can, first help your body feel that, okay, it is safe right now. Then you can get in touch with it. You can notice how it feels. You can use visualization. There are so many tools out there to, um, deal with that emotion at that point. But the moment that you catch it, instead of adding more thought into it, you need to do something about it. Meaning you need to apply any of the tools, and that will help you, you know, uh, create a little bit more space between you and that emotion. That emotion might get, the intensity might get lower, or you might develop that capacity to hold that emotion based on whatever tool you are practicing. And not to get too much in depth, but I will just share one of the tools here in case you have like no idea, or you are new to inner work and you have no tool at all to deal with an unpleasant emotion. So I'm sharing one of the tools here, which is the exact technique name here is opposite action, and it is from DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy approach. So if you want to try it, you can give it a try and see how that works out for you. Um, and if you want to learn to process that emotion, then I also have another resource. So I have like a course, and in that course, the last lesson, I have a whole guided, you know, journey that I take you on to process any emotion that you're having in a healthy manner, to accept it, to be compassionate, to meet your needs, to bring all those beautiful, wonderful elements to processing your emotions, to sit with your feelings, to feel your feelings, and all of that stuff that you might have heard. So, yes, so the last lesson of this course, which is called The Art of Acceptance. So you will find that, what to do with that emotion once you notice it in the last lesson of this course. Ah, so that's it. That's a lot. But that's it that I wanted to share that came up for me from this reading from page number 78 by Keisha. Let me know, Keisha, if it resonated with you in any manner. Oh, I spoke a lot about it today. Okay, we are almost at the end of our time here. So I was thinking of should we do another book, or should I take out the card deck that I created for you? I shared about it in our 2-year anniversary of lives a few days ago. So yeah, I was wondering, should we do the card deck? Okay, let's do the card deck. So I invite you guys to pick a number between 1 to 108. So just think about what you need guidance on and just see what number pops up and share it in the comments to receive a reading, to receive the message from the universe and some guidance. Okay, just a moment. Keisha says, yes, it did. It tied right in with the meditation and gave me another way to approach those feelings when they arise. I'm so happy to hear, Keisha, that you got another tool in your toolkit, and now you feel more equipped to deal with those feelings in a more, sorry, yeah, in a more healthy and gentle way. Thank you, David. Janie, welcome, Janie. Thank you, Doug, for sharing the numbers. Carrie says, thank you, Anisha, for your help. Thank you, Carrie, for being here and for your beautiful comments. I appreciate them and for your support. Okay. Carrie says, peace and blessings to you and all beautiful souls. Sending you a lot of love, and may your heart rest with ease. Okay. So, yeah, anyone else who wants to share a number between 1 to 108? Because we are going to use this card deck that I created for you. So, it was like my gift for you all. This is the card deck. This was my gift for you all on our second 2-year anniversary of live events. So, yeah. So it contains like 108 books, the best ones, the top ones. And I have included insights, and then also like some, when we flip it, then also some action steps from each book. So, yeah. Okay, thank you, Keisha, for sharing a number. Okay, seems like everyone who wanted to share a number has done so. So now let me pick a number and see what book wants to come up for us next. Mhm. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 98 by Doug. Okay, so I am going to go to book number 98. Okay. So this is the book. And Doug, your message is make your bed. Just kidding. It's the name of the book, Make Your Bed by Admiral William H. McRaven. So this is our book from page number 98. And the insight, the message from this book is small, disciplined actions can set the tone for a stronger life. So that is what the universe is asking you to invite into your life, Doug, or anyone else who feels, who resonates with this message. Small, disciplined actions. And now let's see what are the steps, how we can include this insight into our life. So, step, you know, begin the day with one simple task you can finish, like making your bed, because it makes you feel like, okay, it makes you feel productive. You know, it declutters. It's like, okay, it makes your room look clean. You feel like, okay, I did something. So, starting this day strong like that. So, begin the day with one simple task you can finish. Let that small win lead into the next task. Keep using these little completed actions to build momentum and self respect, which we all kind of need sometimes because it is so often that we break all these promises that we make to ourselves, right? Especially when we make all these promises at the start of the new year, and then after a few weeks, we forget about all those resolutions, goals, promises that we made to ourselves, that I'm going to do this or that or this. So instead of aiming big and then, like failing and then feeling demoralized, feeling disappointed, feeling like a failure, you take small steps, whether it is about your day or your goal. So start small. And when you accomplish something, when you accomplish the smallest goal, the smallest task in your to do list, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel confident. It makes the other things feel doable. It makes you trust your ability. So it builds this momentum that keeps on spilling into the next one and the next one and the next one and so on. So that is the message. Doug says that is true. Reminds me how my father used to always make me do hospital corners on the bed sheets. Small details are really important. Thank you, Doug, for sharing that. Perfect, anecdote for this. My throat is acting up. But I'm glad that, the message resonated with you. And maybe, if you have let go of that habit, you can, do that again tomorrow morning. Okay, so I'm feeling really called to do one more, so let's scroll through the card deck and choose one. So I'm going to go through the numbers that you guys have shared, but any other number if you guys feel called to share, between 1 to 108, you can do so. And I will consider your number as well. So that is going to be our last and our third reading for today. So yeah. Anyone else who wants to share a number apart from David, Janie, Keisha? Because you guys have already shared the number. Just clarifying. Okay. Okay, then let's go with the number that were already here in the comments. There was another number. Okay, thank you, Soul, and welcome back. David says, I have been trying to do some decluttering each day when I first get up. It's when I have enough energy to deal with it and usually go back to bed afterwards because I'm too exhausted to do anything else. Ah, that is, lovely that you have, notice that when you have that energy and you are using that, and then you are also giving your body the rest that it needs, that is lovely and so in alignment with our last reading, David. Thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, and little by little, before you know it, the space would feel more clean, more, whatever your intention is to create with that space. So I hope that that feels, your space feels like that for you soon. Okay, so yeah. Mhm. And it is so interesting. Saul also shared the same number that we just read, that Doug also chose, which was make your bed. So, okay, so let me go with the number. I'm really, really feeling confused between David and Janie's number. Okay, let's do both. Okay, so let me first start with Janie's number, which is 53. So let's see what wants to come through. 53. What is book number 53? Oh, we have talked about therapy or therapy techniques a lot today, and the book is The Gift of Therapy by Irwin D. Yalom. So it is a very, very famous book, at least amongst therapists. Um, and now let's see what is the insight that wants to come through this book. Okay, I missed David's comment. David says, I think I need to live another few hundred years before our house is tidy. Oh, David, we wish we could chip in and we could help you out so that you can witness your house as you want to in just a few days or weeks. But maybe you can ask for some support, whatever it is you get. Or it's okay if, it is taking time. You are like, you're getting to do everything. You're really savoring this whole cleaning process in a way. Okay. So coming to the insight from the book for Janie. Um, so the insight is real healing happens through honest human contact. So that is the message for you, Janie, and anyone else who needed to hear this. Real healing happens through honest human contact, which is kind of also important in this age of AI. Because sometimes, we are sharing all of that information with it, and usually it's more of about validating and not helping us see more clearly in a more healthy manner. So sometimes, a lot of times, it can go in that direction as well. So yeah. Janie says thank you. You're welcome, Janie. But we also have some steps for you. So, like, so on the back side, there are some action steps from this book, which is pay attention to what is happening in the room or conversation right now. Speak plainly and gently about what you notice. Respond as a real person instead of hiding behind distance or jargon. So, the universe is inviting you to pay attention to the conversations, to the room, you know, and it is like a beautiful kind of mindfulness practice as well, to be aware, to be present, because these days we are so very not present, in the space that we are, in the room we are, and in our conversations we are thinking about the next thing to say. We are busy in our phone, someone is talking to us, we are not even making eye contact with them, or yeah, so we are not really listening to them, whatever it is. So just being mindful of where you are, who you are talking to, and you can, take a note of those observations in conversation. It might help to say them out loud, like even like complimenting someone, you observe something about them because you were mindful, because you were paying attention, and you reflected that back, and maybe that comment might be the only nice thing that happened to them on that day, we never know. And then finally, uh yeah, respond as a real person instead of hiding behind distance or jargon, because that disconnects us. Those jargons, or sometimes that technical language, or sometimes trying to be look too perfect or be too perfect, actually disconnects us from truly connecting with that person, with that other person. So yeah, just be you. That's the third point that came up. Just be yourself, be authentic, be as you are. You are lovely just as you are, Janie. So, yeah, that was the message that came up from this number. Hope it resonated with you in some manner. Janie says, perfect, thanks. Okay, happy to hear that. Thank you, Janie. And now let's go to the final number for today, which is David. So let's see what wants to come through page 83 or book number 83. Mhm. Okay. So the name of the book is Rising Strong by Brené Brown. So you might have heard of her. She has all these beautiful, amazing books like Daring Greatly. She talks about vulnerability and all of that stuff. Oh, Doug, thank you so much for that kind donation. I received like two donations from you. Was it by mistake? I'm not sure. Or do you like intentionally wanted to share this beautiful number twice? But yeah, let me know if it was like by mistake, and I would find a way, you know, like to return back to you if it was by mistake. But yeah, thank you so much for your beautiful, beautiful intention to support me. I so appreciate your love, your trust, your support. And the image that comes to my mind when I think of a wish for you is like this, clear sky with this, with calmness. So I hope that, you find the clarity that you're looking for, and that that you feel, as vast as this whole sky, and as free, you know, and feel this calmness within your mind and within your body. So that is my wish for you. Okay, yeah, coming to our final book, which was Rising Strong by Brené Brown. So the insight from this is a setback can become growth when you face it honestly. A setback can become growth when you face it honestly. And now coming to the steps. So the first step is notice the story you begin telling after disappointment. So if you're feeling disappointed, if you have had a failure, a setback in any manner, then notice what do you tell yourself? What is the story that goes in your mind, kind of like our guided meditation today. Then, second, slow down and look at what actually happened instead of turning it into a harsh judgment about yourself. So, noticing the facts of the situation instead of, anything that you're perceiving, any meaning, extra meaning that you have attached to it, any extra meaning that you have attached to yourself. Like, what does this mean about me? So, instead of going to the judgment, into the criticism, um, slowing down and looking at as to what actually happened, what were the facts of that situation, and rebuild the story with more truth and less shame. So it's kind of like a beautiful summary of the meditation and I think the post reading too. So rephrasing the story in your head, thoughts in your head, to something that is, that consider other facts also that you have overlooked, something that you might not have control over, something that wasn't, fully in your hand, and some other factors that you were ignoring, overlooking, that you were dismissing in some manner, your other strengths that you might have been dismissing. So, taking all the evidences, all the facts into consideration, you rewrite that thought so that it is more balanced and it is less shameful, meaning there is no judgment attached to it. It is just pure fact, or it is just, more helpful, more balanced, more kind. Because a judgmental one, you might think it might be motivating you in some manner, but it is not. In the long run, it is going to impact your self-esteem, and also it is, self-compassion based on so much research now is way helpful, than self-criticism. Even to motivate yourself, because you feel like, okay, I can make mistakes, and I won't be criticized for it. I would, I can see my mistakes. I have that safe space to see my mistakes, to see the setbacks, to see my weaknesses, and to find a way to improve them in some manner if I can do that, to or to find support in some manner. So yeah, that was the final reading for today. Let me know, David, if it resonated with you, and anyone else also, if it resonated with you guys. Mhm. And this is officially the last reading because my my throat has given up. It's like aching. So I'm going to be kind to my body. And I'm going to end this live now. But I would love to see you all day after. Sorry, tomorrow. I'm doing lives on every single day this week. I'm experimenting with it, and if I like it, I will continue doing lives every day. And I hope to be like a part of your routine. So, yeah. David says, thank you so much. Yes, it definitely resonates with me. I have always struggled with self compassion. Oh, David. Uh, I'm sending you a warm hug. You deserve to be kind to yourself and to be compassionate and to hold yourself, with love, no matter what happens. Thank you, David. See, you are so kind. Why can't you turn it towards yourself? It's okay if you haven't been able to, mm, but we can try it one small step at a time, right? So, thank you so much for being here till the end. I I'm so grateful to have you. You guys are so amazing. I love spending time with you in this space. I really do. So thank you so much. And if you're new, you can always, uh, let's okay, there are some messages. David says, thank you, Anisha. The hug is very much appreciated. Oh, uh, Sarah says, Namaste, Anisha. Namaste, Sarah. Did you say you're going live tomorrow? Yes, I am, Sarah. I hope to have you there. Yeah, I'm trying to do like lives every day this week. And if I have that capacity to do every day, because I usually do alternate days, then I will continue doing that. Because I know some of you guys really like these lives, and I too do that. So, yeah. Soul say, my voice is giving up. But yeah, Soul says, thank you for your kindness and support, Anisha. Always beautiful. Thank you, Soul, for joining and staying till the end. I appreciate having you. So, yeah, just a summary if you are new to me, to the space, to our community, you can follow me and check out all the offerings that are there on my profile, especially the playlist, the courses section, and the about section. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to describe in detail today, but I hope that you find something valuable there. Sarah says, being in your presence is lovely. Oh, Sarah, that is so sweet. Okay, now I have to go. So, yeah. Bye. See you guys tomorrow. Keisha says, ginger, lemon, and honey tea sounds like that should be your next task, Keisha. On it. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you.